Good evening. Welcome to Young and Successful. This evening, I have Miss Tosha Evans.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Doing well. Welcome. Thanks for coming out.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Truly an honor. Thank you.
Yes, yes. So let everyone know a little bit about being incredibly well.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for the opportunity for sharing your
course.
platform. What it means to be incredibly well, that means to experience wholeness and freedom in absolutely every aspect of your life, Dewan. And so, because so many people, think, okay, I'm physically fit or I'm financially fit, so I'm good. But there are a lot of individuals that suffer from, mental health issues, emotional well-being, spiritually. So what we do within the Be Incredibly Well platform is we focus on every aspect of you. We want to see you really, succeed and live in your best life.
Great, great. So with that, I follow you on all your social media platforms. You do a great way of advertising. How did you come up with that name, though?
It's funny. I was actually working in the corporate structure, and I was leading the wellness program when I was working in corporate. And we were trying to come up with a campaign, for our program a few years back. And so I went to my boss. I said, you know what? I have the perfect name. I said, because we're focused on just the total employee. So being incredibly well is actually the name we should go with. And Dewan, believe it or not, she was like, I really don't like it. And I was heartbroken. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, being incredibly well, that's perfect. But so anyway, we wound up coming with another name for the program. But what God showed me several months later, it wasn't for them, it was for me.
Wow.
And so, we'll get into that, I'm sure, but which has really created an amazing movement.
That's really good, and we can kind of dive on in. So you used to have a corporate job, right?
Absolutely.
And so then you transferred to an entrepreneur. What is that transition like?
Oh my God, what a transition.
Right.
It's real.
There you go.
But it's also the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And so, with the corporate world, you have the comfort, of course, of the 9 to 5.
Right.
You're a W-2 employee. You got a check hitting, every 14, 15 days.
Yes.
And so on this side, but it also gives you the flexibility to create, so you're not limited to just 2 days a month to generate revenue. You learn so much more about yourself. I know for me, God, we can go so many different ways with this conversation.
Right.
But the transition has been amazing for me. I know everybody didn't have the same story, but an opportunity for me to connect with really who I am and what, my mission, my goals, and my purpose has been just amazing for me. So how far do you want to go with this? You tell me.
Well, so just really, you having that purpose and that desire, kind of push you to step outside that box. That's good. That's
always
good.
had a desire to positively impact individuals' lives. And so while I was working in corporate, it's that moment of, that's a great idea, but how do you do it?
Right.
So you want to own your own business, but how do you make this transition? How do you make all of this work? And so for me, I transitioned from corporate. I had a strong desire to start with radio, and it didn't happen immediately. Y'all, let me tell you, so I resigned from corporate America with the intent on impacting people's lives with the message of well-being. And so had never been on social media. Ever. Okay.
Wow.
And so I actually started out with a 15-minute conference call line where I was impacting, and it was a motivational call the first Monday of every, it was the first day of every week.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, Tasha, you cannot walk away from a corporate role and have had a conference call line. So you're going to have to step it up. And so I did that for about a month. And then shortly after that, I transitioned into social media. I did a Facebook Live for the first time a couple years ago, which was nerve-wracking. Yes. Yeah. And then transitioned into radio, continuing to educate on the importance of mental and emotional well-being, because that's where it all starts.
Right.
And so that's kind of what my transition was like, leaving corporate. I was attached to corporate, so I stayed with the conference call area. And then I said, you know what, I really got to get out there and avail myself,
Right.
So that's a part of the journey. That's where it started.
That's really good. So she took her passion, her desire, her focus, and, really mainstream that into being an entrepreneur and
Yes.
now going out to help others. So
Yes.
what are some things that you have going on in 2018 with Being Incredibly Well?
Man, so many exciting things, Dewan. I'm so
Good.
excited. What we do, we have a foundation.
Okay.
What I do, we mentor 9th through 12th grade girls at Houston Can Academy, and
Nice.
we're focused on self-esteem,
Okay.
leadership, communication, and life skills with our girls. And
That's
so
really good.
excited about doing a big spring leadership conference, and we're doing a lot of workshops with our girls. I want to take my girls on university tours. You know,
Nice.
a lot of our girls have been labeled as at risk.
Oh, wow.
And so it's very important for them to understand that their lives can change. And
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of fun stuff with our foundation. In addition to that, I am a speaker. So same thing, spreading that message, educating on the importance of mental and emotional well-being. So
Good. Well, I know coming up soon you have your walk coming up.
absolutely.
Can you tell us a little bit about your walk?
Yes, it's our Be Incredibly Well in Houston Can 5K. It's going to be February 3rd out at Oyster Creek Park in Sugar Land. We're really excited. A lot of our students from the campus will be there. We're going to have food trucks, a DJ, we'll have a kids
Nice.
zone. It's going to be a big thing. We're really teaching our girls. So we talk a lot about emotional and mental and personal development and professional development with our girls, but we're also going to teach the importance of our physical health. So we'll be doing that on February 3rd. It's a big community initiative, so you need to be there too.
I'm coming.
You gonna run the whole time, or you
I don't
gonna
know
walk?
about the whole time, but I might walk a little bit, but don't tell nobody.
Okay.
Yeah, but let's just get back on the Being Incredibly Well.
Yes.
With you starting in such a short amount of time, but seeing a lot of good success and progress, how do you kind of advertise, your brand and your company?
Yes, social media is a big push,
Yeah.
and also word of mouth has helped a lot. Dewan, when you are a source of light and strength for individuals, the word will travel, as well.
Yeah.
So social media is a big help, but also just God's grace,
Yeah.
Speaking in one organization or speaking with a ministry or speaking, I also do coaching with individuals. People often share the impact from the Be Incredibly Well movement and the brand, and so it just gets us out there all the more.
And something key you said is word of mouth. If
Yes.
you do not know, word of mouth is the most effective type of marketing.
Absolutely. So it's very important how you treat people and the way you treat people that you don't know.
Right.
And let me say this, the people that you may think that you don't need.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's I've seen individuals that may have maybe indirectly, weren't exactly nice to, let's say, someone in the elevator that they didn't think that was of a certain stature, but that person may have known somebody that knows somebody.
Exactly.
And not so much to do it for the sake of what you can gain, but it's just important to love people
Yeah, I agree.
and to be a good person. So
Yeah, just like the good word says, love everyone that's in there, your neighbor.
absolutely.
So I agree.
Yes.
So what do you attribute most of your success to?
Dewan, I'd say God's grace.
Good.
I'll be transparent. A lot of people see my life now and they think, oh, wow, how great, what a tremendous success story. But I've suffered from depression. I've suffered from poor self-esteem. I've suffered from, living life on the sidelines and just you name it, I've been there. And pretty tough places, a lot of abuse. And people don't know that side, but
Right.
I share my story freely, and I'm so grateful for God's grace who having healed me and helped me to get through all of that. But so I will say that it's been a journey. We talk about being incredibly well. That's certainly my story as well. And so what I have done is used my past, and what my education through corporate America and all of that, and having built this platform to let individuals know that, hey, if my life can change, yours can change.
Wow, that's really amazing. So, I mean, if you're at home dealing with depression,
Yes.
illness or anything, don't let that stop you. We
Yes.
still have people who are out here who dealt with those things and overcame them and are successful.
And I want to say this too, Dewan, depression has many faces. Mental health issues, whether it's post-traumatic stress, whether it's self-esteem, whether it's bipolar, OCD, they have so many different faces, and they don't look like what you think. It could be overeating, it could be undereating, it could be someone who is stifled in a role, it could be someone who, like I said, may be stuck on the sidelines of life, it could be someone who is wanting to be liked, wanting to be loved, and putting themselves through all types of
Chaos.
yes, just to get that. And so when I share my story, I share it freely, and it's not don't look at depression as just someone who's maybe balled in the corner. You know, for me, it was suffering in silence. Let me say that. So I was the one that people always thought had it together, the hair, the clothes, and all these things.
Right.
You know, I want to be her, but I was suffering in silence. And it's something that you wouldn't have known because people thought I had it together. So I felt like I had to, you know, live to that standard.
Right.
But I was just broken. I was lost and broke. Let me say that. So just the realness, but yeah, and that's when we say being incredibly well. It's a lot behind that.
And thank you, because another reason why we have this show
Yes.
is we want our people who come on here to be transparent.
Yes.
You know, we want our guests to be transparent because we want to give the real to our audience to let them know that, hey, a lot of times what they see, it was a lot to get here.
Absolutely.
You know?
And what I have learned is everyone has a story. But it took me a while to get to the point where I can be transparent and tell the truth about really what's going on with me. And so to the person that may be watching that could be potentially suffering, the one that maybe it's you or someone that you know that your life can change, know that you can make those strides. Now let me be clear, it's not magic.
Right.
It is a lot of hard work. You know, when we talk about being incredibly well, it's really internal. A lot of internal healing, mentally and emotionally, but it can happen.
It can happen. That's good, man. I'm starting to feel well now just listening to you. So what are some goals that you have this year for being incredibly well? Can you share some of those with us?
Oh my goodness. Definitely with the foundation, what we're doing with our 9th through 12th grade girls, I want to definitely dig into just their mindset. There's one key thing I always say is that one thought can change the direction of your life.
Wow.
One thought can change the direction of your life. So really digging that into our nonprofit with our girls, really within the community as well, educating that. We'll be rolling out a podcast here pretty soon, so you guys can subscribe. Just more content to help improve individuals' lives. So our podcast is rolling out. We're also rolling out a leadership academy where we're doing just what we're doing now, and it's just offering that information to individuals.
And that's the thing, a lot of times people don't know, or we don't utilize the resources we have. So for you to, you know, shine the light on those things is really amazing.
You know, it's amazing, it's important, and it's real imperative. You know, I will say when I was in the corporate world, we talked a lot, even on this side of it, in the community, we hear a lot about physical fitness, you know, that's normally the front runner. But what's going on with you mentally and emotionally is everything.
Yeah.
I always say 3 key things to one, and it's because you matter. Because you matter. Every aspect of you matters. So
that is really good. I'm feeling so touched and intuitive right now. It's just, ooh, yes. So I agree. Everything does matter.
Yes.
And thank you for being so transparent with us.
You're welcome.
Yes. So we're having a lot of fun.
Yes.
And, you know, she's doing a great job, but we're going to have to wrap it up. We have such a busy night ahead of us. So, Tosha, can you leave our audience with, you know, just one thing, one word of advice, encouragement that you would tell someone who's dealt with a lot of internal issues and might not, you know, have the confidence anymore, or might not have the support group around them to encourage them to follow their dreams?
Absolutely. I'll take us back to what I shared earlier. Number one, it's one thought can change your life. And if you are in a space where you may not have the support that you need, get it.
Yeah.
Get it.
Get it.
And if that means, you know, hitting, I can share my book, Be Incredibly Well, Journey to a Better You. And even if it's not, starting with a resource on personal development, something to help to channel, you know, your mind, your emotions, where you can see your life differently. So don't stay stuck in a space. You know, if it's your friends, if it's your job, you can change.
Yeah, you can change.
One thought can change the direction of your life. So if you're in a space where you feel like, hey, I don't have the support, I don't have the network, get it. You know, and it's going to require work. It's going to require, you know, you changing your decisions, you changing your routines. What are your habits like? What are you doing in the mornings? Your 24 hours are absolutely everything. So start with your personal development, journaling, exercise. What's up with your diet?
Yeah.
You know, these are basic things that you can do to begin to change.
I'm working on it. No, but really quick, let people
Sure.
know where they can find you. Tell them your social media, your hashtags, so they can
Absolutely.
follow you and stay in tune.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's easy. It's ToshaEvans.com. That's TOSH. It's my name, TOSHAEVANS.com. That's ToshaEvans.com. Or you can find us more information about our foundation, which is beincrediblywell.org. Beincrediblywell.org. Our social media handles are the same. It's Tosha Evans as well as Be Incredibly Well. And YouTube.
YouTube.
Yes.
That's the new thing.
Yes,
A lot
right?
of people are going like, are we going to have TV anymore soon? I know.
Exactly.
Questions that need answered. But no, thank you again, Tosha, for
Thank you.
coming on to Young and Successful. Really appreciate it.
Thank
and
you.
thank you for your transparency. That really helps with our listeners. And again, March 9th, don't forget we have Houston Scotch and Beer Fest. Going to be a great night. Tickets are almost sold out. We'll see you the same time, the same place next week, 8:30 on Young and Successful.